everybody, Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back again today for a new video. It's been a little while, guys, but we are back today. We are at the movie theater, and this is the first time I've been at the movie theater in well over a month. I'm not entirely sure what the last movie I saw in the theaters was. It's been quite a while. Normally, every once in a while I'll have a dry spell. This dry spell tended to have lasted a little bit longer than typical. I think I only really watched like 5 movies in October, and I think we're already up to basically 5 for November. So November's starting to pick it up a little bit, thankfully. Today we are at the theater to see Heretic, which is the newest horror film from A24. It's directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, and I believe A24 released this thing into theaters last weekend, at the beginning of the weekend actually, on Friday, November 8th. Today is Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th. So I've got the day off of work, decided to head over to the theater and check this one out. I really wasn't sure what to expect from this one. I kind of got the vibes that this might be like a so bad it's good type thing, but I'm actually been pleasantly surprised by reading the reviews. I think it's at like a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment. I think Letterboxd has it somewhere around a 3.6, 3.5, somewhere around there. So decent, not amazing, but decent. And I've heard just a few promising things. Don't really know much about the film other than it has some religious themes. And I'm intrigued by those. I believe it follows 2 Mormon missionaries who are put through this almost Saw-like game, for lack of a better explanation, by Hugh Grant's character. So Hugh Grant plays the lead in this movie. And I've heard great things about his performance. So I'm excited to head in there and check out Heretic. I will be back in a couple hours for me, a few seconds for you guys, and give you my overall thoughts on the film.
A few moments later.
Alright guys, just left the theater from seeing The Heretic, and I have some mixed feelings. There are things about this that I really, really liked, but there were also a few things I didn't care for as much. I don't think it's necessarily going to be like one of those movies that's going to like wow me and stick in my brain forever. But the first half of this thing I thought was fantastic. I thought it was great. It was shockingly funny from literally the very first line. You can tell that humor is incorporated quite a bit here, and I really liked that. And I thought it mixed the horror comedy really well early on, as well as just weaving in a few kind of religious themes and philosophical themes that I thought were addressed really well early on. And then the last act of this movie lost me. It became your standard horror film with all of the tropes and some really unbelievable moments, not in a good way. Some really odd moments, odd choices. You expect to suspend belief in some instances here, but part of this was difficult to watch, to get through. So yeah, I think if it had continued and been tonally consistent throughout, I would have loved this thing even more than I did. But as is, I really did enjoy the film. I have positive opinions of it, but that third act is really going to hold it back for me. I just thought there was nothing really interesting that they did with that third act. The first 2 acts were super interesting and different and unique and fresh. And then that third act just felt like your standard, modern horror flick. And I just wasn't all that impressed with that final act of the film. Needless to say, I will have mixed opinions on this. The grade, I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. That's how it's going to go in on Letterboxd. Overall positive, not amazing, but positive. I did really enjoy Hugh Grant for the most part. Again, I thought that first 2 acts, he was incredible, knocking it out of the park. And then he kind of lost me a little bit towards the end as well. I was relatively impressed with the 2 lead female actresses. I'm apologizing, I do not remember their names, but I thought they did a pretty good job, again, for the most part. So that's my thoughts on Heretic. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about the film. Definitely stay tuned. There are some new movies coming out in the next few weeks that I will be doing movie reviews for. Anora is finally hitting my theater next weekend. So I'll be heading out to see that one probably Saturday or so. So definitely stay tuned for the movie review of that one. That's the new film from Sean Baker that won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival. So I'm very excited to check that one out. And then, of course, we are right upon the eve of Oscar season here as we are into November, December. Some Oscar movies are going to be coming out, including Anora, of course, but I'm excited to see those. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button down below if you're not subscribed already, and I will see you guys later. Bye.